Hey, good morning, guys. It's Donald and Mary, and we're here to bring you your morning weather, water, and trail chat report. And so this morning we're going to start with the water and weather, and then after we'll move on to some rescues and other information or news going on around the world for in the hiker world and outdoor enthusiast world. All right, go ahead, Mary. Take it away.
All right, thank you, Donald.
For sure, man.
Good morning, everybody. Right now in Blairsville, it's 48 degrees with some fog. We're looking at a high of 76 degrees today with some morning clouds giving way to some afternoon sunshine. And then tonight, 47 degrees with clear skies. Winds will be light and variable. Up on Blood Mountain today, we're going to have a high of 66 degrees, falling to 62 later on this afternoon. It will be mostly sunny. And then tonight, 51, mostly clear. Winds will be 5 miles per hour. Water is good for the most part on the trail. Make sure you top off at Hawk Mountain Shelter as you hike north. You do not have another opportunity for 6.2 miles. You will be able to get water at Justice Creek. And then Slaughter Creek is dry. Numerous hikers that have come through there have said there is really nothing there. Maybe a little mud, but you really can't get anything out of it. And then Neil Gap to Hogpen Gap is dry. Make sure you're topping off at Neil Gap. You will have water at Hogpen Gap. You just have to walk all the way to the very last Blue Blaze. And then watch for snakes. There's the Copperhead Nest up on Cow Rock, which is 5 miles north of Neil Gap. Rattlesnakes hang out around there also. And then we're looking at the Great Smoky Mountain National Park bear closures, Twin Creeks Trail, and campsites 1857 and 82. All of the shelters are open, and then bear warnings at campsite 71. Let's remember, leave no trace. If we brought it in, bring it out, and let's always properly store and dispose of our food items and other items that have odor. All right, other things going on out here. There's Oktoberfest in Helen that is running through November 2nd. And then Blairsville is having the Sorghum Festival this weekend, October 11th and 12th from 9 to 5. And then next weekend, October 18th and 19th from 9 to 5. And that is happening at Meeks Park. Driving around, definitely noticing the color change with the leaves. They are really starting to pop. So lots of beautiful leaves out there. We're not at peak yet, but we're going to keep getting videos and pictures and keep everybody posted. All right, Donald, turning it over to you now. Got some other stuff you can talk about today.
All right, thanks, man.
You're welcome.
All right, guys, so let's start like this, man. It is 7:02 a.m. and it is 10/12/2025. So, all right, and so in Washington, we have a rescue in Bellingham. Bellingham Mountain Rescue completed its 55th response and rescued an injured hiker near Lake Whatcom. The rescue happened on Friday around 9:30 a.m. Bellingham Fire and South Whatcom Fire responded and BMR assisted. The terrain is steep and difficult to navigate. It is unclear the extent of the hikers' injuries, but they did not appear to be severe. No further information. All right, we have a rescue in Tennessee. In Signal Mountain, Tennessee, a hiker with an injured ankle was rescued on the Cumberland Trail at Signal Point Saturday afternoon. Signal Mountain Fire Department said mutual aid units from Dallas Bay, Walden Ridge, and Hamilton County responded when the hiker fell and injured their ankle a mile into the woods just before 11 a.m. It took around 3 hours for the rescue the hiker with over 1,000 feet of rope access and difficult terrain and a Stokes basket. So no responders were injured during the rescue, which concluded around 2 p.m. Hamilton County EMS treated and transported the hiker. Chattanooga Fire Department covered for the Signal Mountain Fire Department while all available resources were committed to rescuing the hiker.
Awesome.
Hold on now. 2 thumbs up for that, right?
That's right.
Sweet. Yeah, I'm glad everything worked out good. Mm-hmm. Okay, and so we have a California rescue and San Diego rescue crews airlifted an injured hiker from a trail in Los Penasquitos Canyon Friday afternoon. Around 24 firefighters with the San Diego Fire Rescue Department responded to calls for an open space rescue on a trail in Los Penasquitos Canyon near the 12,100 block of the Camino del Sur in San Diego at 1:35 p.m. Friday. Crews were able to find the hiker on trail in the park and reported they were in stable condition. A rescue helicopter was called in to lift the hiker from the trail and took them to first responders waiting nearby. The hiker was taken to the San Diego hospital in stable condition.
Awesome.
That place actually we read about quite often. And so some of these spots are popular spots for people being injured just because they are more of like a hiker tourist spots too, man. You know what I mean? You like park and walk in a circle and end up back at your car type deals. And so, or you go in and out and, you know, you see whatever it is at the end, like a waterfall, or you end up on top of a mountain, you know what I mean, with man-made benches and a flag or something at the top. And so that's why you see a lot of like rescues in those areas, though, because there's a lot of just anyone going out there.
That's right.
You know what I mean, man? Just anyone. So, and a lot of people don't have the knowledge or experience to pack their bags properly when they go out here. Some just go out there in sandals and a tank top, and it's 150 degrees out and the sun's beaming down on you, and there's no, you know, you're in the middle of, you know, pretty much desert landscape, and you're out there walking around and there's no shade. You don't have anything to protect your body. You don't have enough water, or they don't have enough water because they're carrying a liter of water, a half a liter of water, or maybe a Stanley cup of iced tea or something. Who knows? But that's what you see out here, man. You know what's funny is, I apologize, what were you going to say?
I have something I wanted to add to that. Yesterday I picked up some riders at New York Gap, and this is a good example of what Donald's talking about, because they spent the night on Blood Mountain last night. Not last night, I'm sorry, the night before. And when I picked them up yesterday, they were telling me that for sunset, the evening that they camped up there, there was a young man and a young lady that hiked up to the top of the mountain, and they were commenting on, you know, it was cold up there, but she was up there in a little dress and flip-flops.
Oh, yeah.
And he had no jacket to give her. And they asked them, well, do you have headlamps or anything when you're going back on the trail? It's getting dark. And they just stated that no, they were just going to use the light from their phones. So that, I think that's a good example of, you know, being unprepared or not knowing that if you're going out, you still have to come back.
Sure,
and
right.
You need certain items and certain clothing items, because the terrain is not friendly to flip-flops or, you know, a little dress or no coat, because weather does turn cold. I mean, we're in the middle of fall or middle of October almost, and you know, the temperatures do get cold at night. So I think that's another thing to think of. Just because it's a great spot to go and see and hang out, still be prepared with water, some food, and a light to get you out of there if it's going to be dark.
Sure, and that's packing your day pack, and so that's 2.5 miles up. Not only that, they didn't plan for anything. They don't even know how long it takes to, or probably didn't even know how long it took to get to the top and to get back down. Obviously, the hikers, you know, that were hiking through, that we were picking up, they were concerned about these people not having the proper, you know, the proper equipment and the proper shoes or anything. And there's some sketchy spots actually climbing up to the top of Blood. I'm not saying it's, you know, hardcore, but to climb it in sandals or flip-flops, man, yeah, it is kind of sketchy. There's a couple spots where you kind of gotta use your hands and stuff to scramble up these little rocks and stuff, man, to get back. And then when you get to the top, you actually, if you don't have the right lighting, you don't have the knowledge, you don't remember where you exited the woods to go up, because you come out of the trail and you get to the top, okay, man, and so you come up, dude, you walk up and you come out, you break open into a clearing. There's rocks. It goes up to where there's a shelter up there, and then there's a rock you get up on. You can see everything, and there's spots along there that you can sort of, where people have camped, and you know, little nooks and stuff that people have hollowed out so you can camp up there, yada yada yada. But the thing is when you come back down, a lot of people walk right past that trail and keep on walking, and there's no markers, there's no cairns, there's nothing there, man. There used to be a dude named Jason that worked up at Mountain Crossings, that went up and he put a sign up there so people wouldn't walk down through. But we have had so many customers that had walked right down past that opening and kept on walking down the side of the mountain. And the Freeman Trail goes around the mountain. That's the bad weather trail. And if you kept on walking down, you would eventually hit the Freeman. But you gotta first make it down through the pucker brush and all the laurels and whatever's up there, man. And so the thing is, man, is if those people didn't know that, they pass right by, they don't have a light, they have sandals on, that's how people get hurt. And so that's how ankles get twisted, that's how knees get blown out, that's how people fall down and fracture their collarbones because they're trying to stop. We've seen it so many times over out here, man. And these cats are up on top of the mountain, unprepared, and so definitely these spots, these popular tourist spots and day hike spots, man, are definitely, we read about them a lot because of that, man.
The rider I just took back to Amacola the other day, he was telling me he did exactly that. He walked down the rock into the bushes and brambles and all that, and he had to,
it happens a lot.
Had to reassess the situation, get back up there,
and find the opening.
Trail. Yeah, so we just had.
I've been thinking about going up and putting up something there. You're really not supposed to because you have to have permission to put up anything on the trail, signs or anything, man. But there is a need for it up there, man, or a cairn or something, man. I'm sure someone will knock it over, but.
Or perhaps
that's why I don't think it ever got built.
Maybe when the maintainers are able to get back out there, or whomever we can speak
I've
with.
already spoke to
Rick
Dix years ago about it. Same with the Henry Gap.
Right.
So you'll walk right past that trail too, Henry Gap. You have to know it's there, man. And so the Henry Gap comes out in someone's yard. And so those people don't mind people going up in there, but they don't want to make it a hot spot for people just to go in there and start using it and parking. Because there's like a little parking area there, but they don't want people parking in because it's their driveway.
Right.
You know what I mean, man? And then there's like this little inlet spot where you can park for the day or something. They don't want people up in there parking all the time and walking through their yard. And it's in a little neighborhood too, so they just don't want a bunch of people up in there. So the GATC and ATC and stuff and the USFS have never put a sign there. And same goes with On Top of Blood. They just don't want to put a sign up there for some reason, man. They'd rather people just walk past, I guess, man, and walk down over the mountain. But anyways, let's move on here. All right, and so today we have some pretty good shuttles. Yesterday we were loaded down. I mean, it was one thing after another. Mary got up to the top of the mountain there to drop off some hikers. So we had some late hikers for one thing, just to kick the day off. The end of the day, they were supposed to be here at a certain time. They did not show up on time, which is fine. But we had other riders also. We had a couple of other rides. Short distance rides. We had some guys down in town that were watching the football game that wanted to go back up the Neil Gap that we brought down earlier in the day. And so they wanted to go back up. Plus we had some hikers up there after we dropped the town to Neil Gap. Yeah, it would have been the town to Neil Gap back here.
Yeah, I came back here, brought
picked
them
these guys up because they were going to park here, the late people. We're going to bring them up the hill. And then we had a 5 p.m. there going over to Woody Gap. So it would have been boom, 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 boom. But... and nothing works that way. It was more like, wait, they didn't show up, they didn't text, they didn't call, they didn't tell us anything. We had to continue to call them and text them to get them to respond to us. Finally, they responded and told us they were going to be late, and so we informed them that we needed to take care of the other hikers and that we would be back to meet them here after that, which would be around 6:15ish. She made it back at 6:10, but anyways, so she was able to, we went into town, picked up the football people instead first, got them up to the top of the mountain, and then got the Woody Gap from Neil over to Woody Gap, then came back down, picked these cats up, brought them up to Neil Gap, and then we had some hikers we were picking up on Monday, and they were up there and they had an injured ankle, and so we were able to just scoop them up last night when Mary was dropping these cats off around 6:30ish, 6:40ish, and picked these cats up and got that Monday scheduling out of the way, which was going to be an issue anyways because Jordan's vehicles broke down and we were scheduled for a shuttle for him at that point in time. We couldn't stretch it or figure out a way. We had figured out someone to cover it, but now we are able to just keep it and get it out of the way and not have to worry about someone else's, making sure they get there, because you can't trust everyone to run their operations like we do. And it's a concern when you have to pass it to someone and we trust them fully, but still there's that feeling inside, like, we don't like to be late. We drive a certain way, and this cat definitely respects our business and definitely, carries the same vibe. He's on time, but still, you still get that in the back of your head, like, are they gonna
when it's your
mess
thing,
something
it's
up,
hard to
dude?
let go of it because we like things done
a certain
our way.
Yeah, right.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
But so that worked out really well. I was almost up to Neil Gap, and there came the text. And when I showed up,
they texted in.
Yeah,
Okay.
when I showed up and called out her name, she's like, I was wondering who was calling my name, and she goes, "That was quick."
Right, dude, right? Yeah, right, dude. It's like you're on the phone, man, and then all of a sudden the person appears there like you're God or something. Hey, did you need me?
It was just perfect.
Right,
she just looked
dude.
at me like, wow.
Yeah, isn't that funny, dude?
Just the right place at the right time.
And we've had that happen on other occasions. Like, people will be texting us, and we'll be sitting in the parking lot, and I get out of the car. This has happened on this is one particular time, and so I got out of the car, and there's 4 guys with their dog, and they wanted to ride. And the only reason we knew it was them, they said they were at Neil Gap. It was a text. They said they were at Neil Gap, man, and they had a dog, and it was 4 of them. We're like looking, and they're the only 4 of the dog up there on the balcony, and it was like. So I walked up. I was like, hey man, y'all need a ride, dude? And they were like, oh, we were texting some people. I was like, yeah, you just texted me, man. So
That's awesome.
But anyways, they actually ended up watching the Super Bowl at the shop and stuff. Was that last year?
Yeah, I believe
Isn't 2024 through?
2024. Yeah. 24. It was. It's like so long ago.
Yeah, right, dude. Yeah. All right, and so today we have some shuttles going on. Jordan's going to go for a hike. We're going to drop him off at Unicoi Gap during a shuttle. We're going to ditch him there too, man. He's going to hike southbound for the next couple days because his car is not going to be done for another several days. He won't be back on road till Thursday, man. So it's real bummer, man, but that's okay. He works a few days a week out of the week mountain crossing. So a couple of those days he was working there. Anyways, but he usually comes back and does nighttime shuttles too. So, but yeah, he picks up the in-between, not the in-betweens, but when we have a bunch of schedulings, we have to pick that stuff up. So it helps to have the other shuttle, right, dude? Right?
Yeah, some of those days can be really super long.
They are, man, because the way that we plan it sometimes, we got some later night shuttles, and they're for Jordan, and they're specifically geared that way because he works during the day. And so when we schedule those, and then a vehicle breaks down, one of us has to pick it up, whether it's Mary's vehicle broke down or Jordan's vehicle broke down. We still have to pick it up either way, and when you have a load like that, it's extra. So you do the morning and afternoon, and then you go into the night too. So it just never ends, man. It's a double dose, really. So
You make it work.
yeah, it's not like we didn't do it back in the day.
right.
So
Professionals at that.
right, dude. Anyways, that's what we'll be doing today. Mary's going to Atlanta. I don't know what else we have going on, but
Dick's to Uni, and then Reeve
that's
to
right.
Neil, and then Neil down to Atlanta.
boom, there we go, man. That's so sweet. And I believe the Indian Graves are some hikers. They were gonna go to Trade Gap, but we don't go to Trade Gap, so they were cool with Indian. Anyways,
This is a repeat hiker that's been using us up the trail too. So.
yeah, they know what's up, man.
Now, when I go into Indian Grave Gap today, I'm pretty sure that it is going to be loaded down with cars.
Oh yeah, dude, it's Columbus
there's
Day.
High Shoals Falls.
Or what is it called? Indigenous People Day.
So High Shoals Falls, and that's always packed with people out there when the weather's nice. So pretty sure that it's going to be busy in there. I'm going to squeak in there a little earlier so that I can see and get through there. Because sometimes it's pretty tight, you're going to kind of squeak through. But they changed the parking. Like you have the parking lot over here, and you used to go past and everybody park around the corner there. They have it all blocked off now with no parking, and cars parked down the mountain. It doesn't make it any better, but it's a little bit better.
Yeah,
than
it's
it used to be.
wider.
There's more room.
It's wider actually when
Yeah.
you go down the mountain, but
That's right.
we have video of people clogging that road up. One time we had to have a guy walk 3 miles because wait, is it 3 miles? No, it's like 2 miles
2.5 or so.
from Indian to where High Shoals parking is, man. Because it's like 3.5 to the road. And so when you turn off of the tar onto Indian Graves Road, man, or the USFS, it's 3.5 miles from tar to Indian Graves. And so when you go up to High Shoals, it's about a mile in. So they clog that whole area up, man. And one time the cops had to go down there and clear it out, man, because they were blocking the entire road off. And it happens a lot out here. They do it at the Byron Reese too, man.
Yep.
All the time.
That place was overflowed yesterday. Everybody was inside, and then all the way down the road thing there, it was clogged. Every gap I've been to has been jammed.
It's that time of year, man.
It is.
You know what I mean? It's just the way it is. But I'm glad that like they've done a lot of widening the roads, getting prepping them for the tourists that are coming up in here. And if people have listened to us for years, man, I've been saying this. They have literally, for the last 10 years that Mary and I have been doing this, man, they've definitely widened the roads and built the infrastructure up here to handle the loads that they are inviting into the mountains, man. They're trying to generate cash up here because this is a very poor place, man. There's a lot of poverty here, man. It's either you're really rich or you're really poor, man. So, you know what I mean, man? And we're in that other bracket, dude, the really poor, right? Anyways, dude. But that's how it is here, man. And it's good that they've started to build up places so people can work and get some, you know what I mean, dude? They're inviting the people up in here and getting it going, man. So progression is good when it's needed. So, but definitely, yeah.
It's a good thing, and it's a beautiful day, and we get to live in all of this.
We certainly do. All right, and so did you have anything else you'd like to say?
I do not.
All right, wonderful, guys. Okay, so thank you for watching, man. We definitely appreciate you. If anyone needs anything at all, give Mary and I a call. We're here for you. All right, one love, guys. Peace. Thanks.